Hello internet passers-by, welcome back to Napcast. I'm Revel Notorious, once again joining me today is Shaun.
Are you still going to be on your phone for that the whole thing?
No, I was just closing it.
He did that intro on his phone.
I can autopilot that shit now.
Oh yeah, I just have to mention my opening. What's up, potties?
Potties!
We're still here.
I can't believe I almost forgot.
How dare you?
My fucking soul.
You know, I thought about an anime lane, but I stopped myself.
Same. I was also like, I'm forgetting something.
Not only do you like editing in Final Cut, you open with that.
Yeah.
We're not going into that. That's for the prelude
that's
only. If we have a
Subscribe to our
Patreon,
Patreon.
if we have a Patreon,
Do you want to hear us rant about editing software?
you can do that if you give us money.
It's a very intelligent conversation.
Yeah, truly worth the price.
Absolutely.
Oh my god, I have stopped including any of the preludes. So,
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Ever since I screamed that it went on for too long that one time, you just started removing them.
Yeah, I just stopped giving fun stories because they always get cut.
at some point it's like, it's fun, but it's not
Relevant.
podcast material.
No. It's for us. It's for us only.
Yeah. I see.
Unless you give us money.
Thank you for that little bit of a tangent so that I could open and log into Discord in
Oh, absolutely.
time.
Yeah, we saw that happening.
Okay,
Absolutely.
so did you send your
Yeah,
one in?
it's
at the
right
top.
Oh, is it above? Okay. For some reason I thought that was something else we had sent.
there. No.
Okay, so today's episode, because we still haven't fucking got there
It's
yet.
a secret we're doing. You have to guess.
We're gonna be diving into icebergs again. Do you remember the conspiracy theories episode where we kind of did that?
I did
But
the Mario
differently.
64
You did the
one.
Mario 64
you
one.
were the only person to do an iceberg, I believe.
Yes.
I don't
Yeah.
think I don't remember.
You did Finland.
What?
Finland. You don't remember Finland?
Finland doesn't exist. Finland.
I have never heard of this term.
That's
Finland.
That's
the
the
title of the
title.
episode.
It's Finland. It doesn't exist.
Doesn't exist. Finland.
Finland. And
I know. I've seen the title.
Okay.
You can gather.
You just were giving me the most blank
Blank
expression as if you
stare.
did not understand the joke.
Brain dead.
And then I did CERN
You did.
or something like the
You did the CERN
the Hadron
thingy.
Collider ended the world or something in
Oh, yeah,
2012.
because there was like a Twitter thread and
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh yeah, that was long.
You should, if you don't remember, you should go back and listen to
Yeah.
that. It's a great,
Absolutely.
it's a
Very
great
fun.
2 episodes because we
Yeah,
split
Yeah,
it
I
into
think
split
it
it
was.
into 2.
Yeah.
So who's starting?
Do we want to go by the order it's been posted in, or
You know, I don't mind.
Okay, let's
Shaun, introduce your iceberg?
Okay, so I don't know if I've ever mentioned the podcast before. I love The Legend of Zelda.
I don't think you actually have mentioned it.
I think I might.
strangely
If
enough.
I've ever have, I think I've
talked
mentioned
about
it once in passing.
And the music episode, I believe. You.
Possibly,
I probably
yeah.
did. Yeah, God, I don't want to remember the music episode.
We don't talk about the music episode.
We don't talk about the
we
pilots.
don't talk about the pilots.
Yeah.
We'll redo them and then just replace them.
The
like they
pilot
never happened.
of Anime Lane is still genuinely somehow one of the best episodes
By accident.
by accident.
Great episode. If
Yeah.
you ask me.
Great episode, but let's not talk about the quality of it.
No.
No, of course not.
We've learned.
We have learned.
Anyway, so I love The Legend of Zelda. I know way too fucking much about The Legend of Zelda. So I knew when we were doing an iceberg episode, I was like, I gotta do a Legend of Zelda iceberg.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I think the one I've got here is the one I think I know every single entry.
Wow.
Take us to the highlights.
I don't know which one's the highlights. There's so much.
I mean, I don't want to, go straight down, but I'm very interested in Link is a boobs guy.
Yeah. You, honestly,
you
you
need
can
to go
you can
there.
jump around. I'm honestly was expecting that. I will admit, some of these are just shit posts.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Like, there's not many, but there's like 1 or 2. Link is a boobs guy. Does have context that I'm about to explain.
That was the one where I'm like, please let it be.
I've just seen another one.
There's quite
Fairy
a few.
tits.
Wow.
Okay, so we'll go with Melina's one first. So there's a couple characters throughout the series that very specifically have big,
Bust.
yes, bust. And there's 2 times in particular that I think this entry is referencing. There's one in Majora's Mask where I think as a reward for completing one of the side quests is not going where you think. The actual thing is a lot more wholesome than you think. Because the first time you do that side quest, you get like either a piece of heart or like an empty bottle or whatever, which is important. But if you go back in time, because you can do that in Majora's Mask, and you do that quest again, you get a nice little cutscene where Link is just being like hugged by the person you've helped.
Okay.
The way the models are placed, it kind of looks like though that his face is just directly in the area.
Jesus.
Yeah, that. So it's become a joke that like it doesn't help, by the way, that there's a text box under that where like you feel a warm fuzzy feeling as he's being hugged. It's meant to be wholesome, but given all the context, it ain't.
Nope.
I want to state, by the way, Link is like 12 in this game.
I was gonna say it's young Link that's in Majora's Mask.
So yeah. And there's the second one. I think this is also referencing. I think in Twilight Princess, there's a side character you can meet who's like, you either meet her in like the main story or not, but she's supposed to be helpful, but she has a design that is also very generous.
Yeah.
And at one point, in one cutscene for a split second, Link just fully looks
Just full.
at like the cleavage.
Yeah. Oh, great.
I mean,
Stop it! We have barely started.
You're
We
the one
can't start here because it's
You're the one
gonna
who
go
picked
weird.
Link as a boobs guy is the first one to go for.
Well, it was right in the fucking middle.
You knew it was
so
gonna
was
go
the
this way.
cleavage.
Yeah. It's right there.
Yeah. I mean, I'd love to, have picked toilet hand, but that wasn't on the
I just
screen
saw
at that
Toilet
point.
Hand as well.
I can talk about toilet hand.
Oh, you will.
I'm curious about fairy tits first.
Okay, so this one is
stay on one
let's-
topic.
no. This one you can judge
Let's get these two out of the way first.
Yeah.
because the design for the Great Fairies and I think specifically Ocarina of Time also followed the same sort of design philosophy of just massive.
I mean, it's the
Great.
same in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom as well.
You're right, actually.
Yeah.
So I think it's just going off. Why do fairies have tits?
Yeah, that's a good
I think
question.
that's just what this entry is. Why do they have tits?
Yeah.
They don't serve any purpose. They're
No,
fairies.
exactly.
They're just there.
Yeah. So toilet hand.
Okay.
Moving on very
So
quickly.
again, in Majora's Mask, where an unhealthy number of these entries come from, I want to stretch because
Okay.
Majora's Mask is a weird game. During like there's a side quest you can do where like at 12 p.m. on I think either just the first night of the game or like any other nights of the game.
Completely localized within your copy of Majora's Mask.
Yes. You can go into like a sort of hotel area where like a bunch of side quests are, and like if you at 12 p.m. if you go into the bathroom, there is a hand that just randomly sticks out of the toilet. The quest is you have to give him a piece of paper and he gives you a piece of heart. What he does with that paper is up to your interpretation.
Wipe a booty.
I mean, that's the implication. The game doesn't strictly tell you. He just says he needs it.
It's not a. Please, sir, I would like.
No, he's in desperation.
Oh my god. You don't want to look down here.
Sir, I need
No,
it.
no. It's extra funny because Link, being the plank of wood that he is as a character, has no reaction to
Yeah,
this.
that sounds
You
about
just
right.
give him the paper. He gets
Yeah.
a piece of heart and he goes on his way. Never questioning.
This is the thing about all the Zelda games, and especially Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. Link is a hero. He is the savior of the realm. And he's just... It's the JonTron clip.
He's nothing.
Well, that sort of happened. I didn't even participate in that.
no.
Yeah.
Things happen to Link.
He's like an empty vessel. You
Yeah.
just kind of imprint whatever on it. It's like, I suppose that could be a smile.
Link is
maybe.
sort of the perfect reluctant hero because he never chooses to do
No.
any of this stuff.
And he doesn't really react either.
No, the closest we get to any sort of link with a character, I'm going to be honest, is Wind Waker because that's the style of that game is just more cartoony in general. And they give Link the personality in that game of he is so fucking done.
I would be too.
He does not want to do this.
I love like the trope of the hero. It's like, oh my god, I don't want to fucking do this. I need a break, but I guess I'm a hero, so I have to.
And this is why Toon Link is the best Link. Because he gets kicked around in Wind Waker as well, like a lot. He hates every second of it, but he still does it. Because he has to.
Okay, what else have we got on
Aliens.
here?
Aliens.
Oh yeah, I didn't even see
This is also
Hyrule is okay. Let's come back to.
I'm gonna be disappointing. Hyrule. We're gonna go to Hyrule as gay because I can get it out of the way.
Yeah.
Shitpost. Generally just a shitpost.
Okay.
There's nothing
Why
there.
is there a third tits entry?
It happens a lot.
Okay, aliens, and then we're from aliens. We'll
Aliens.
jump to Christianity.
Yes.
Okay, so once again, Majora's Mask. Like I said,
Yeah.
a lot. It's a weird game.
Yeah.
So on the first night, the first day of the game, you can go to like, if you get further enough in the game, you can go to a ranch area where you do a side quest. It's where you find your horse basically because it got kidnapped at the beginning of the game.
Okay.
You find that, and then you find one of the characters who is a little ranch girl who teaches you how to use your bow, basically, gives you target practice. And then she sort of reveals that once a year, the ranch gets invaded by aliens.
Oh, that just
This
comes
happens
out
as suddenly as I've just described it.
Okay.
Okay.
There's this full cutscene explaining what they are.
And then never
Aliens.
mentioned again.
No.
Okay.
You defeat them for one side quest, they disappear, and they're gone.
Huh. I mean, it's kind of funny to think about. It's like, yeah, there's this girl like, on the ranch, and she's insane. Don't listen to her. She keeps talking about the aliens.
That's genuinely how our sister reacts to this in the side quest. But you know, see, this quest is kind of the best quest in the game. One of the best side quests in the game, purely because of like the effects it has on like the rest of the stuff. Because that whole ranch plot line hinges on you doing that. Because if you
Okay.
don't, the little girl gets abducted by the aliens. She disappears for the entirety of the second day, and then she reappears on the third day, and she's just completely dazed, confused, and just sort of lost. Like her personality's been scrubbed. It's creepy.
Oh my god.
It is genuinely unsettling. Along with the fact that like all the animals in like the farm get abducted as well, which means that entire ranch fails. Like it just completely collapses.
Wow.
And you can, at the end of the day, because the thing with Majora's Mask is that after the 3-day cycle, the whole world just gets destroyed. You sort of have like this ending story if you don't do this side quest of a sort of teenage girl who's the older sister having a ranch that has completely failed and a sister that has basically been lobotomized by aliens. Majora's Mask is a fucked up game.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Yeah.
I kind of have nothing there.
Yeah, most people don't.
No, I feel like you're just kind of being like dragged through the storyline. Like, what the fuck? Like, no, keep moving. Just keep moving.
That's
Like,
kind of how you have
no.
to play Majora's Mask.
Yeah.
Because there are so many parts where if you like, you just sort of react to it and just go, oh
no.
god. Best Zelda game in the series.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know how the fuck you're gonna go from there.
No. Christianity.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So this is more about early installment weirdness in the series
yeah.
because
Okay.
the original idea was that Hyrule was going to be more generic medieval
Okay.
Europe
Oh,
sort of
yeah,
fantasy, and they were genuinely, or Miyamoto's intent was genuinely to have like the world's sort of religion as Christianity. And you can still sort of see it though, because like Link's shield in like the really early games has the Christian cross on it,
Oh, okay.
and like there's
Still prefer the Hylian shield then.
I know, like, I'm not saying it's good. I'm saying it
Saying
got
it was
better.
there.
This is before they decided to have their own lore.
Okay.
This is like the first two Zelda games I'm mainly talking about. Like,
Oh yeah, I do remember.
once
the
you get
first
to like
Zelda
Link to the Past, that's when they
Yeah.
explain the actual lore of the world. But like, you have that. There's an actual Bible item, I think, in one, like the first Zelda game. I think it's translated over here as just like the Holy Book or whatever. And there's a concept art of Link to the Past where you have Link actually at church with like a full-on Jesus like crucifix. It's weird to look back on given the whole context of everything else.
Jesus.
It sounds
Okay.
like, to me, it sounds like a cutscene you'd have in a different game,
Yeah.
and Link is just there like a customizable character.
yeah, that's kind of what it's like.
Final Fantasy, but you can customize your own character. Wait, that's just Final Fantasy
That's,
14.
yeah, that's Final Fantasy 14. What are you talking about? You've been obsessed with that
I
game for
know.
months.
But the thing is, I always design my characters to fit within that.
Why would you do
aesthetic.
that? No, I'm all for just
Because
crazy.
there are so many
Full GTA
genuinely
5.
Yeah.
like great emotional moments when you get to the later expansions that if it was any other design character,
It
Pink
would
hair.
be so much
I have
better.
had Goku fly past me in the game.
Goku's in the game?
It must have been a shop item at some point because it was someone definitely wearing a wig with his hairstyle, his gi,
Oh, good.
and flying on the Nimbus cloud. So they must have sold an outfit item for him and the Nimbus cloud mount.
Dude, that's amazing.
Yeah. I've fought raids with people dressed as cactars.
Are those what I think they are?
Yeah, it's the giant cactuses.
All right, cool.
Oh, yeah, just
Cacti.
making sure.
Yeah. What else? Someone dressed as a chocobo.
I mean, I expected that.
Yeah. It's just weird though.
Great.
Anyway.
What else do we have
Tetra Force.
Ah, okay. This is bullshit.
Okay, yeah, so I was gonna say, 'cause
This is a fan theory that's complete bullshit.
Okay,
Oh,
so
cool.
because Triforce is like the main recurring
Yeah.
thing throughout.
You want to know how this theory started?
Oh god.
So Link's Hylian shield design in Ocarina of Time has a random part that kind of looks like another Triforce piece underneath the actual Triforce. Can you imagine where the fan theory went?
Wow. Is that there's a
Yeah.
second?
No, that there's just a fourth piece.
Oh,
in the
there's a four. Oh
Triforce.
yeah, because Tetra. Yeah.
Yeah, making the Tetra Force. Nintendo has gone on record saying this is not a thing. Eiji Aonuma, I think, is the director for the entire like Zelda series.
Oh yeah, AG and Numa.
Yeah. He's literally gone on record saying there's no such thing as a Tetra Force. That's not a thing. Stop it. So yeah, bullshit.
I feel like one of these I can sort of explain.
Oh,
Gorons or Muslim.
do you want to try and
Is this
explain?
because of
I
the?
can fact check you.
Is this because of Ocarina of Time?
Yes.
And it was the Fire Temple.
Yes.
Which had actual
Muslim
Muslim
chants.
Muslim
no, I
chants.
get what you're going for because it's got
Oh,
actual
yeah.
verses from the
versus
Quran.
the
I
Quran
think.
and
Oh.
the background music. They had to pull the game and remove that.
Yeah.
Because that they found out that specific sort of chant or like prayer or whatever isn't supposed to be played with any music. Like it's very taboo.
Yeah.
Oh.
From what I hear anyway. It's that plus the combination of I think specifically Nintendo of America or like
Right.
Europe also had like a huge thing at the time where like we can't reference any real world religions in any of our games. Because the interesting thing is Pulp Fiction, if you've, I don't know if you've ever watched those videos, did a whole thing on this.
Oh, right. Sorry. I'm thinking
Movie.
No, Pulp Fiction, it's a web series,
Okay.
or it used to be before it got canned.
Right.
Because game trailers fucking sucks. But did a whole like investigation and they found out that like the removed version of the song predates any release of like the game whatsoever.
Oh, okay.
So they actually like figured out that there wasn't actually any controversy, or if there was, it was very minuscule and it didn't affect Nintendo.
I was going to say, like, I feel like even though that's the thing I've heard, I've never actually seen anything that
Yeah.
refers to any actual controversy.
Everyone assumed it was a controversy that
Yeah,
changed it.
it's not. It's not. It's not the original JoJo's OVA where Dio, for some fucking reason, is very clearly reading the Quran.
Oh,
And they had to remove it.
Well, oh God, yeah.
why does that sound so on brand for JoJo? But also, why?
I know.
But yeah, they found that like they figured that it was probably because Nintendo caught this early on, but but the early versions of the game, because it was revised edition that obviously
Yeah.
had, went out first in the first printings.
Of course.
So it was just a mistake that it went out.
Yeah.
Anyway, but again, that whole Pulp Fiction video goes into way more detail about this, but that's the basic synopsis of this.
Yeah.
There's also an extra thing on this where like somewhat related, the star and crescent sort of symbol
Okay.
popped up a lot in Ocarina of Time as like just a general sort of symbol on certain stuff, which obviously because it has connotations of like Islam and stuff, they later removed and changed
Yeah.
in later versions of the game.
I don't know where to go from there.
There's a lot.
Potty mouth whiz robes.
This one's surprisingly stupid.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So in one of, I think it's Wind Waker, if you attack an enemy that's called like whiz robes, it sounds like they say fuck.
Ah, okay.
That's like a hurt noise.
Right.
I
Fair
mean,
enough.
fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
I'm assuming Majora's Mask afterlife/dying hallucination is the whole idea that Link's dead during that entire game.
I hate that theory.
Yeah.
It's so dumb.
Bend Round is what we did for.
We've talked
We've
about
talked
Bend
about
Round.
it,
but
but
I don't think we've
Yeah.
gone full in depth. I won't go full in depth.
No.
here.
I was going to
That's a-
say, please don't.
That's a rabbit
Oh
hole.
god, yeah.
I think I'm just gonna skip past
I
that.
find
actually.
it
Yeah, no.
interesting, but I it was there and I was like, let's bring it up. We've talked about it. Go listen to that episode, and I'm sure there's mountains of videos that
Yeah,
go,
you do your
Oh,
own
yeah.
research
Yeah.
on that one.
that go so much more in depth.
Because I feel like we couldn't do any justice
No.
on it,
No.
really. You have to search for yourself.
What's
Temporal lottery cheating.
This is Majora's Mask again.
Oh, for the love of God!
You're gonna be hearing that a lot, my guy.
Oh,
It's a weird game.
I think it's just easier if you tell us which ones aren't Majora's Mask when we come to them.
Yeah, that's probably fair. This one basically describes it like there's a lottery game in Majora's Mask that you can just cheat at by going back in time and remembering the actual answers.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Makes it sound way more interesting on this than it actually
Yeah, because
is.
that's not
Yeah.
temporal. That's just
No,
like
it's temporal. It's time.
I guess, but you make
Time
it sound
bitch.
a lot more.
I know.
Yeah.
What's at the bottom of the
Okay, let's scroll down to.
There's a lot.
God,
I'm
yeah.
curious about the gap between Dimension / Phantom Ganon's sword.
Okay, I've actually got a note on this one because
I'm trying to see if there's any other than the very direct Breath of the Wild E3 heist. If there's any that I recognize from
Okay.
being.
so the gap between dimensions is sort of like a weird space. It's mysterious because it's only been ever like referred to once
Okay.
in one game. It's in Ocarina of Time when you defeat Phantom Ganon, which is the Forest Temple boss.
Oh, that's who he's a reference to. Okay, never mind.
Okay.
Sorry.
You defeat Phantom Ganon, and the actual Ganon actually contacts you because magic.
Okay. Yep.
And basically banishes the Phantom sort of version to the gap between dimensions.
I see.
The reason this comes up in Phantom Ganon's Sword is that you meet another Phantom Ganon in Wind Waker.
Sure, just one weaker.
What?
Nothing. You haven't got there yet.
What are you getting at?
You haven't played much of the game yet. Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh, okay.
Phantom Ganon does show up.
Okay.
It's very interesting.
I should state, by the way, I've not played Tears of the Kingdom at all.
No.
Well, I have, but
Yeah,
not
Phantom
far.
Ganon shows up, and I was confused.
Oh, okay. It's just you're looking at me like I know. Obviously, I'm
No,
not gonna
I know you don't know.
But anyway, Phantom Ganon shows up in Wind Waker, and the weird thing is, on his sword design, there's like a marking on it from characters from. Take a guess.
Majora's Mask.
Yes.
Okay.
Which is weird because Majora's Mask takes place in a parallel world sort of
Right.
thing. So the idea is that did Phantom Ganon get
Go to the other world.
Yeah, and does he look
Okay.
like? There's probably a lot more theory fodder there that I do not care about. So I'm not going too far into that. But it's something to think about, I guess, if you're into the stuff.
The fourth day.
Okay, that's a glitch in Blair.
Yeah.
That it's a well-known glitch in the game. It basically means you basically removes the entire 3-day cycle sort of thing.
Okay.
The thing is, because so much of Majora's Mask hinges on scheduling and when certain stuff takes place, it sort of breaks the game.
Right.
So there's a lot of weird, fucky stuff you can do.
Right.
Other stuff, and it's a bit more infamous as the whole 4th day glitch thing is also the catalyst for the Bend Drown creepypasta and stuff.
Right, okay.
So there's a lot of stuff that happens in
Right,
there, but
okay.
it's basically just a fun little glitch you can do in Majora's Mask at surface level.
Nice.
Yeah. You want to talk about the Breath of the Wild E3 heist?
I was curious about that one. Yeah, because I don't know what that's referring to.
Okay, so in the far gone lands of 4chan,
Oh yeah.
Oh God.
yeah, there was apparently.
Oh, okay. The council are out there cutting grass, I think.
If you can hear a buzzing noise, it's some guy. Anyway, so on the far off lands of 4chan,
Okay. Yep.
there was I think anyway, I could be remembering this completely wrong, And if I am, call me the fuck out. But there was apparently a guy going around saying, I'm gonna steal the E3 sort
Gonna
of-
stab you.
He's gonna stab you.
I'm gonna stab it.
He basically went out
No,
on this
stab,
like
stab, stab.
elaborate plan on how he was planning to like basically steal the E3 sort of like build of the game that was being shown off at the time. I think this was 2016.
Oh Jesus, that's so long. Oh no, I was gonna say it's so long ago, but that was the year before the game came out.
Yeah. And he went on this heist of like, I'm gonna hack into like the servers, I'm gonna download it onto my laptop and then leak it onto this website and stuff. That never fucking
No,
happened.
No,
yeah,
of
that
course
sounds
not.
about right.
And nobody knows if he just got caught or if it was all just bullshit. Knowing it's 4chan, I think it was bullshit.
I think
Yeah.
it was bullshit. Yeah. Do you have anything that you want to pick out?
Well, I'm tempted by the far bottom of the iceberg. So Stone Tower, Sacrilege, and Forest Temple, new music.
Okay, so Forest Temple new music, I'm sad to say, is a shitpost.
Ah!
It's really nothing more than just some. I think it's a YouTube video where like some guy does a sort of a cappella remix of the Forest Temple theme from
Okay.
Ocarina of Time. I don't know how to explain it. It's just, it's weird.
Okay.
It's just sort of weird.
And how like, do people think that was going to be in? Like,
I think
the
it's literally
remake?
just here to make people see it, and just
Okay.
to what make people go, what the fuck.
Oh,
It's purely why it's there.
Cool. I love bottom tier shit posting like that.
yeah.
Oh, it's, I mean, literal bottom tier.
Yeah. Both literal and metaphorical.
Stone Tower Sacrilege. Oh boy.
Oh great. I
Oh,
feel like I've
yes.
stepped on something
This
here.
this is another. This is gonna sound so fucking dumb. Just so you know. This is another fan theory from that game.
All of them are
All of
fucking Majora's Mask.
People fucking love that game. It's perfect theory, like
Yeah.
a theory mine, because there's
yeah.
so much what the fuck in
Yeah.
that game, and there's so much just like creepy, weird shit that like Zelda never really goes back to.
Yeah.
Probably because the game was being made within like a year, and the people making it weren't going through a great time.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
But so the Stone Tower Temple is the last temple in the game, just before like the final like confrontation and stuff, and it's in probably the creepiest area of the game because it takes place in this. The area of the game it's in is called Akana, and it has the biggest backstory of all the areas in Majora's Mask. Like there's this whole. They delve into a bit of like it was an ancient kingdom in the past. There was a war they went on with like another kingdom. Basically, it all serves to say that it's sort of like the haunted area of the game.
Okay.
Like there's ghosts that come around. There's skeleton areas.
Spooky, scary,
There's
skeletons.
there's zombies.
zombies.
Zombies, which actually scare the crap out of me. I hate Redeads. Anyway, so the whole. I have to explain a lot of lore. So there's gonna be a lot of okay in this explanation. I don't
Okay.
blame you.
Okay.
I'm about to info dump.
If I look like I'm not paying attention, I'm listening. I'm just
Processing.
yeah.
I will not take it personally. I'm about to show off how nerdy I am with this entire series.
Okay.
So there's another extra bit of lore that goes into like Majora's Mask as well, because to do with the actual mask and that it was used for like hexing rituals in the game and stuff by like a tribe and whatever. It's a lot. Long story short, the idea is that the stone tower was sort of built as like a sort of sacrilegious sort of temple thing to insult like the three goddesses of like Hyrule, basically. Because it's explained in the main series that they created not just Hyrule but all the parallel worlds and stuff.
Okay.
But Termina sort of has their own gods as well, so the idea with that in the game is that Stone Tower was made as a sort of insult to the goddesses.
Right.
The main crux of this theory is that Stone Tower and Akana is the only time in the game you find the Triforce symbol in all of
Oh,
Majora's Mask.
Okay.
But with the way it's placed on these statues, and the Triforce is sort of put in an area near the statues behind part.
Okay. Right.
So the idea is basically that like it's supposed to be a sort of mocking of like the goddesses and stuff, and like, you know, they're basically shitting on them basically.
Yeah.
And there's a whole weird design at the top with like the sort of opening of the temple has like a mouth area with like a flaming finger pointing upwards to like the heavens.
Okay.
And I'm explaining this like really sporadically, so sorry.
That's fine.
But,
No, it's fine.
the main gimmick of the temple as well is that you're supposed to like shoot the light arrows, which are arrows you're supposed to get in the main games through the goddesses like powers and stuff. You find it in this temple just in a random like chest, and you shoot these random parts of the temple that can flip the whole thing upside down. It's sort of the gimmick of the temple. So the idea is basically that the theory anyway is that the goddesses saw what the people of Termina were doing and sort of punished them by twisting the world and sending them into like an abyss. Basically, the game's version of hell.
Yeah.
Right.
There's a lot in this theory.
Yeah.
There's a whole fucking other thing where like it's like a reference to like a biblical tale, like the Tower of Babel and stuff. There's a lot. There is a lot in this theory.
Okay.
It is madness. I don't fully subscribe to it because I don't think Nintendo thought that deep into it.
No.
They're
Because-
probably just like, yeah, sure. Whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
You do you.
I think it's more just, general weirdness, but it's a good theory. Like, it's good to just sort of imagine.
Now that we have the Hyrule Historias,
That's a good thing to go into.
did
here.
they ever, like, cover some of the stuff that was theorized by fans?
No, but there is an interesting thing. There's a companion book to that came out a couple years after called the Zelda Encyclopedia, whose main thing at the start is that, okay, there's mainly input from like the actual markers and developers of the game, but extra writers have come in to like bring in their own interpretations, which makes the Zelda Encyclopedia a bit canon asterisk,
Okay.
Yeah.
which is why it's the one I haven't really picked up yet. 'Cause
Right.
I have Hyrule Historia.
Because there's 2 volumes of Hyrule Historia, and then there's the Zelda Encyclopedia, right?
No, there's Hyrule Historia, which is the main one that came out for the 20th anniversary.
Okay.
It explains basically most of the lore. It's basically canon.
Right.
There's Zelda Encyclopedia that added like extra interpretations from outside sources and stuff. I have problems with it. I won't go into. And there's an art book.
Okay, that's weird. I thought I had seen 2 Historias, but...
I could be getting mixed up with something, or could just be forgetting something, but
I think they've done multiple volumes.
yeah, that could be
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
I know that like the timeline that was finally explained in Hyrule Historia has been touched up a bit and rearranged a little on the official website.
Oh, I
So you
know
might be
what's
thinking that.
confusing about it is that they've printed them all with the similar fucking covers.
Ah, there it is, yeah.
Oh,
Because
yeah,
they're all
no,
supposed
that
to be
makes
sort
sense.
of like a series of books.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
some of them are better than others. I'd say just get Historia.
Yeah,
Get the art book if you're interested, but...
Historia is the one I'd be most interested in because the series is a clusterfuck.
Oh, it is. It's basically Nintendo trying to explain a cohesive lore.
Is Historia the one that basically said, yeah, everything's canon to Breath of the Wild?
Yeah, and well, no, because Breath of the Wild came out after the book came out, because that came out at the same time as Skyward Sword.
Oh, okay.
But Breath of the Wild came in and Nintendo basically said, yeah, it happened no matter what. Because there's 3 fucking timelines.
Yeah, and Tears of the Kingdom only reinforces all of that.
Yeah.
Because you can find multiple things referencing.
Honestly, with what I've played of Tears of the Kingdom, I just put that as its own continuity at this point.
Yeah, it's weird because, like, there are a lot of things you can find that are references to,
Yeah.
like, other section or other timelines. Because, like, you can find the Skyward Sword. And there's armor sets that reference, like...
Well, like the actual
Skyward Sword.
But that should be the Master Sword.
It looks very similar.
Okay.
Fun fact, though, it's a super rare thing you find at the end of a quest line. It's not indestructible. And I don't know if there's any way...
We're not going into weapon durability.
Yeah, I don't know if there's any way to get it back, but...
That's a sword I'm never fucking using. Then. Actually, we've brought up the timeline now. I'm gonna go into it because it is a fucking...
Is it an entry on here?
It's an
I think
entry
so,
somewhere
yeah.
here. I think it's like pre-Hyrule Historia timeline debates.
yeah.
So the Zelda timeline's fucked. The whole thing's fucked.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever gone into
Oh,
it.
yeah.
'cause-
I've heard it.
Okay, so I don't have to explain too much. Basically, Nintendo made these games without a timeline in mind.
No, because they were all just sort of...
They're just this. They're the legend. They're all the same legend, just interpreted differently.
Yeah.
fans would never accept that.
Absolutely not. Why would they?
Probably because there are some things that were specifically linked, like Link to the Past was said to be a prequel to the first two games, and Ocarina of Time was said to be a prequel to that, and blah. Basically, Nintendo doesn't give a shit.
There's also the timelines that split off from whether Link
We're getting to that.
died at the end of Ocarina or not.
It doesn't help because Ocarina of Time dealt with time travel, and the ending of the game specifically shows there's a timeline split. Because at the end of the game, throughout the game you're sent to the future. You beat the boss, but then at the end of the game, Zelda sends you back to the past, so you can like correct like any mistakes.
Okay.
But then Wind Waker came along and continued from the adult timeline. And then Majora's Mask came along, continued from the fucking child timeline.
Oh god.
So then the debates started of what's happening?
What is life?
Yeah. How does this fit with this? They're referencing each other, but they don't fucking fit.
Oh my god.
Nintendo doesn't give a shit.
No.
This continued for way too fucking long. To the point where Nintendo said, alright, you want a fucking timeline? Here's your fucking timeline. And it basically boils down to
Sure.
adult timeline, child timeline. The past games have their own fucking timeline. Because Link died at some point, and that's now canon.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
Because it's like, you have Zelda, like if we go for the other timeline, it's like Zelda, apparently Link dies, Zelda 2 A New Adventure somehow happens.
It goes... Okay, so Skyward Sword happens because that's the big prequel.
Uh-huh.
There's a GBA game in there. We're not talking about it. I don't care. Ocarina of Time happens. Timeline fucky shit happens. You have the timeline that continues from the timeline where Link gets sent back to the past at the end of the game. There's the timeline where everything you did in the adult section of the game continues. And then there's the timeline where Link just fucking dies.
Yeah, here it is. I think this is the official one.
Yeah, this is from Historia.
So, yeah, you have Skyward Sword, Minish Cap, Four Swords, Ocarina of Time, then it splits and you have the hero is defeated, which leads to A Link to the Past,
The
Oracle games, Link's Awakening.
Which that has changed, by the way. That's been retconned
Oh.
since this.
Oh,
Now, the Oracle games and Link's Awakenings have been switched.
Okay.
So even this isn't fully fucking canon.
And then somehow we end up with the original two games.
The original two games are at the end of the timeline.
That makes no fucking sense.
No, it doesn't.
And then there's the hero is successful, which splits into the child and adult era. The child era continues with Majora's Mask, Twilight Princess, Four Swords, and Hyrule's Adventure.
I love this little blurb here because it's like Child Link goes back in time, tells Zelda everything, and Zelda tells her like the king, and the king just fucking executes Ganondorf, and he's defeated. That's it. It's over. Return of Dumbass.
And then adult era, you have Wind Waker, which sure, Phantom Hourglass, and Spirit Tracks, and then all of these connect into Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, they all converge
God.
because Breath of the Wild is so far in the future, no one should care.
No.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, yeah.
Even though it has its own history.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. And then Age of Calamity came in and split the timeline again.
Oh Jesus, let's not go into that. How long have we been recording so far?
Probably 30, 40.
49
Oh, God.
Jesus
minutes.
fucking Christ.
Are we making it a two-parter or?
I'm sorry.
Lop off like the 10 minutes that we were talking
Yeah.
beforehand. And
So
we've
that's
been
like
recording for
Mine are
40 minutes.
Yeah. So we could jump to like mine.
Yeah.
And see how that goes.
I cannot fill an hour of mine, I'll tell you that.
Oh.
I just want to state, by the way, I actually have a credit for like where the timeline, where the iceberg is from.
Oh, okay.
So if you want to look up and actually like follow this iceberg, you can. It was created by the only source I could actually find really was a user called Human Shaped Dog on YouTube. I love that name. I specifically got this credit because I saw that name take like basically say I created this, and I went yes.
I will credit you because your name is funny.
Exactly. They could have been lying out their arse. I don't care.
Okay.
There are videos on YouTube as well that I think go into deeper depth onto this iceberg. But whatever. Moving on.
Do we want to do mine? If you can't fill like a full thing with yours, do you want to do yours first?
Yeah, it could just be
good
to do that now.
I have 2. I could do one now and one for.
Yeah, do one now and then we'll do another.
Yeah. So we're gonna start with the moving to the Netherlands iceberg,
which is a strangely structured iceberg.
Oh my god! Yeah. So I did not move to the Netherlands. I grew up there, so
this is a choice.
So you sort of went backwards.
Yeah, I went backwards, but I thought it was fun to look at because we do have a lot of expats in the Netherlands, and some people say it's all it's all beautiful, it's so great, and yes and no.
As with any place.
Yeah,
as with
any country on earth, there are good sides and bad sides.
So the top of the iceberg, what you see when you first move there, it's a tolerant country. Speaking English isn't a problem because all Dutch people speak English.
Yeah.
And they don't make a fuss about oh yeah, I'll speak it. Don't worry.
English basically came from
legal weed. Woo.
Amsterdam.
Yeah. Yeah, and that is the big pluses you think. And then once you live there for longer,
the surface of the iceberg.
Underneath the surface, we have a very classic quote that I'll translate. In the Netherlands, people speak Dutch, which it's very much a take on. We're in America. In America, we speak English.
Yeah.
Every country will have those people.
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah, and I'm personally of the opinion if you move to a country, it's fine not to know the language in the beginning. Make an effort to try.
Yeah.
That's the only thing.
If you're gonna be there for a long time, it makes sense to try.
Yeah, exactly. And then that links to the saying, "You speak English." That was not what you were meant to do. That's what that means. So yeah.
Wrong.
And you see some quotes underneath that. Here in Holland, only. So, that's a curse word. That just means, let's say it just means shit expats and tourists smoke weed. And I wouldn't say that's true necessarily, but sure, whatever. And apparently this is a really big issue with foreign people in the Netherlands, that they can't get their security deposits back.
Okay.
Oh.
And I don't want to say it's a racism thing, but it probably fucking
a little bit
is.
of that, of xenophobia.
Yeah. So that's attached to the quote. There's a speck of dust on the floor underneath the sofa. I'll have to hire the most expensive and slowest cleaner in the world. Sorry, that's your security deposit gone.
To be fair, I feel like this is just a landlord thing.
Yeah.
At the end of the day. I mean, you can add a flavor of xenophobia.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Depending on the landlord, but I feel like a huge majority of them without any racism do that.
Yeah. I mean, it's like there's a lot of laws in place here in the UK for it because I'm renting, so I've looked into it. Like wear and tear, wear and tear is fine, and there's certain things that are classified under wear and tear, like things like dust or like this the door has a small scratch on it. That's fine, as long as you didn't break the floor or burn anything.
There's a sort of not infamous one or like just one sort of, I'm not sure if it was a meme or anything. Like I saw like it was like a screenshot of like a landlord like asking like out in a landlord sort of like message group or whatever, I can't find anything wrong with my tenants. How can I pin something on them so I don't have to give their deposit back, because I don't want to give them their deposit back.
Jesus.
I mean, generally landlords are not.
No,
there's some that can be very nice, probably.
If landlords are listening to this,
go fuck yourself.
They don't know who we are.
No, I have a landlord. No. I'm not gonna say your name, but I know your name.
I am in your walls.
This looks fine. We passed every inspection. Please, please don't kick me out.
I'm curious about Etos paracetamol here with the Dutch healthcare.
It's right in the center.
So we have pretty good healthcare. It's comparable to what England has, where you do pay for prescriptions, but it's very little.
I was gonna say but until you mentioned the prescriptions thing, I was like, we're not in England.
No, exactly. Because in Scotland,
I was about to say you better be talking about prescriptions, because that's the only difference we really have.
Yeah, exactly. And we're very laid back people, and so if you do go to the doctor, and you need something, the first thing they'll ask is, have you just tried taking a paracetamol?
Antibiotics.
Yeah, because we're also cheap people, so we're like, well, you don't want to pay for a prescription, do you? So any like illness, you're feeling like maybe nauseous, you have a headache, everyone will tell you, you're taking paracetamol today.
Oh yeah, I'm feeling nauseous. Let me just take a paracetamol.
No, yeah, we use it for everything.
Paracetamol.
Paracetamol.
No one's gonna get that.
No one. That video does not exist on YouTube anymore.
No,
they took all the video gamer videos down.
no.
They're all gone. It's all gone.
I love that I have no idea.
We can't even show you the content.
We lost Jordy Apocalypse.
We did lose Jordy Apocalypse.
Oh, I feel like I've lost a family member.
Same.
Oh no.
It's basically a not even a fan dub. It's like someone's taken like a video with their lips talking, right, and then cut that out and put it on top of a game character in Fallout 4, and it's just him. He's woken up from a hangover.
And the world's ended.
And he's just looking for some paracetamol.
And the way he says it is paracetamol.
And he's not a Geordie. He's from Hartlepool.
Hartlepool.
Okay.
Not any fucking Geordie. I feel I'm gonna miss that video so
Same.
much. Sorry.
But yeah, our love for paracetamol, it like is so bad to a point where we don't have a lot of like meds you can buy in the store. Not a lot of different ones. We just have a lot of paracetamol. And so most expats...
Do you just replace it with weed?
Coming from a country that is heavily restricted on how much you can buy, that is terrifying.
Yeah.
I know, right? And so a lot of people that move to the Netherlands, they're told, take meds from your home country. Like things like Nitol, because we don't have a lot of strong over-the-counter medicine.
Okay.
So like, they're gonna tell you, just take a paracetamol, and you know it's not gonna do anything. Meanwhile, every time I have something like, just take a paracetamol, it'll solve all my problems.
Oh my god. Paracetamol.
And then we move on to Dutch directness, which...
No.
Oh, Dutch fashion. Oh my god, I skipped.
We cannot skip the coffin.
There's a fucking coffin right there.
Yeah.
Are you vampires?
Sure.
Are you all dead?
Yeah, sure. I'll take it. I don't know what it means. That's the thing.
You have no idea.
I tried looking it up and I got nothing.
Everything else?
Just basic.
Yeah.
Basic. We're very much blend in people.
I was going to say, I look at this and I don't see anything other than the coffin.
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing particularly.
No, they really just throw that in there. I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, Dutch directness.
Yeah. We're very direct people. We say it as it is.
We know.
And we're very...
We're aware.
Okay.
No, it's why you fit in well as a friend.
Yeah.
Good. And it's described here as rudeness excused as a national trait. Try being direct back. What did you say to me? Fuck off to your own country.
Oh.
Yeah, because...
That's a little yikes.
Yeah. Again, I haven't experienced myself. I can imagine it happening, though. Because, of course, people are very, intolerable with this type of stuff sometimes. Very stupid.
It happens.
But yeah.
I'm starting to think if we went to the Netherlands that we'd be a little fucked.
Probably.
Because we take the piss out of the Dutch a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like it is something you have to kind of get used to, especially being Dutch and moving abroad. Like the way we do emails are very much hi, problem, bye.
Yeah. And it's all very...
I don't want to say non-formal. We don't really do the formality.
Yeah.
Whereas like over
no
here,
point.
I hate emails because they are so fucking archaic.
Oh my
It's
god!
almost
I
like
hate
writing
it.
a letter.
Like here you have the whole, good afternoon. How are you doing? I hope you are well. I'm like, I don't need this. I'm like, hey,
Hi, name, comma, enter.
I need
Hope
help.
you're doing well.
Yes.
but you have to like style it up in some sort of like
Yeah, it can't look
formal
like
language.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it can't be a big block because that's also not good. You have to space
you
it
gotta
out.
use your paragraphs. Yeah.
I would love if I could just say, I have this. This is why I'm writing to you.
Help.
Bye.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
why I think every other fucking form of communication we have is far better than email.
Yeah. I'd rather just text like anyone.
Yeah.
But it's like my boyfriend, well, he's pointed it out. He's like, you email like that? It's like, is that bad? It's like, well, it's coming off, a bit
fucking
rude. I'm like,
rude.
no, I don't mean to be. Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
Rude.
Yeah, so I sometimes do let him like proofread my text. It's like, how is this coming across? Because I'm saying it as it is. I don't mean to.
I'm calling that motherfucker out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want it to sound mean. I'm saying it with a mean intention. Like, but I don't want to see.
I want to be passive aggressive. I don't want to be aggressive.
I want them to not know exactly if it's meant to be mean. Yeah. Yeah, no, we're not good at that.
To probably take it as mean, but still have that plausible deniability.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're called out a bit too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, like, even in service, like, customer service, we're very direct and honest people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I get a lot of videos on, like, my Instagram recommended of, like, oh, what's it like being foreign in the Netherlands? And there's this guy who was like, oh, yeah, I went to the hairdresser and I was like, oh, I want, like, this hairstyle. And she was like, no, it wouldn't look good on you.
Wow.
And I was like, yeah. Like, if I go to a hairdresser and I'm like, oh, I wanted like this and this, I want them to tell me if they think it would look good on me or not. I don't want to show up, I was like, oh, I want this. And they're like, okay. Like, no, you need to tell me if it would work for me.
Such an alien concept.
Yeah.
But it's alien to me that you just show up and you tell them, what if it looks like shit? That's your fault.
That's your fault.
Yeah,
Yeah, but they're trained to know.
No, they're trained to cut your fucking hair.
Yeah, exactly. You go there to get your fucking haircut. You don't want opinions.
You know the famous phrase, the customer's always right?
Fuck that.
Is, fuck that, but it's also only half of that quote.
Yeah.
The customer is always right when it comes to fashion.
Mm-hmm.
You can't tell a customer that the clothes look ass on them.
Yeah.
Same way you can't tell them their haircut.
Oh no,
Yeah,
for us, again, in stores, if you try something on, like, staff will tell you, oh, that's not your color. Or like, oh, that's not making you look good.
No.
The average response over here would be tough shit. I'm not here for your opinion. I'm here to get my stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's very common. If I go shopping in the Netherlands, like, some staff will
I
be
think I'll
like,
need
oh,
to sort out some issues.
Oh, it's so normalized to me that that's what happens. If they catch a glimpse of you, they're like, oh, I wouldn't maybe do that color. Like, we have some others if you want to try those.
No.
But no.
I want this.
Yeah, I just judge from the corner.
Wow.
Yeah, you gotta do it silently.
Yeah.
Disagree. I want feedback. Honest feedback.
Don't fucking shop in the UK then.
Yeah.
No, I've noticed. Okay, and then we have shit expats blamed for outrageous property prices. I mean, true and untrue, I'd say. Like, yes, we get a lot of international people, and therefore they need places to live, their prices will go up, but also the times we're in.
Yeah.
Property prices are generally high.
Sometimes you hear the same thing here, which is just not true.
Not at all.
No, like, I'm very much against expats buying something to rent it. That's I'm like, you come here just to make money. I'm not for that.
Like,
Especially
that's
if you're
the big
not planning,
housing
like-
problem here. It's a bunch of like people who could just buy multiple houses
Yeah.
and just
To rent
don't
them.
do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, exactly. I have nothing, like, if you come to the Netherlands to work or to study or whatever, by all means you can buy your property. I have no problem. You can rent, yeah, sure, no problem. But if you're going to start buying property to rent for outrageous prices,
Yeah.
I think
that's
it's
not
like
a problem.
I think over here, I think in Wales particularly, they have a huge problem of like older sort of English, like well off, like people just buying a bunch of houses in Wales.
Yeah.
So like people in Wales just can't get houses.
Yeah.
Basically.
It's basically like everyone telling you to get on the property ladder is the one buying the house.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Right.
the
It's
one
so
you're gonna have
easy.
to rent from.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, just, put your your deposit down, just get on the property ladder. It's like, do you know how expensive it is? Do you
Exactly.
know what I make?
Yeah.
Do you know
No.
what in this economy?
The deposit is more than we make in a year most of the time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And they're like, oh, but you could pay 10%. It's like, yeah, that's still
That's
a lot.
still-
That's still a
too
lot.
much,
I
yeah.
still need to eat.
Yeah.
And then you have a mortgage for a bajillion years.
Yeah.
And like interest is so high that you don't want a mortgage.
Yeah.
We moved in here when I was 6 months old, this house. And my parents won't finish paying off their mortgage until I'm 30.
Jesus.
So, yeah. And that's how long a mortgage can last.
Yeah.
If you're older, you won't get a mortgage that long and you'll be paying more because you're more at risk of
Death.
death before paying it off.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then we have our final, like, bottom of the iceberg. Mass denial of casual, everyday racism.
Oh, like here.
Yeah, in every country.
Yeah.
Yeah, and with the quote, yes, but there's less racism here than in your own crappy country.
Like...
Black schools?
I don't know what that means.
I mean, I'm
I
gonna
can
hazard
imagine
a guess.
what it means, but
Yeah.
like...
I'm gonna assume it's similar to the US, where, like, neighborhoods that are in poverty,
Okay, yeah.
and that could be it, I'm not sure. But yeah, I'd love to talk about our lovely little helper to our version of Santa Claus.
I know what this is.
Yeah.
You don't know what this is? Oh, I'm scared.
You're gonna
for
Google
you.
now, and you're gonna hate it.
Don't make me put this in my fucking internet search history. I mean, never mind.
I don't like
anyway.
that. I don't like that I already know this.
Yeah, so I've just that should be fine. I've done
Look at that.
some research on this.
For fuck's sake.
I know,
because
right?
it's a very big debate in the Netherlands.
So that's
whether-
what Zvarte or whatever it is. I don't know how it's pronounced.
You're very close. Yeah, I've done some like research on this through the years because it is such a big debate whether it is based in racism or not, and a lot of people have.
It could be like accidental, like folklore
So-
that looks like it,
yeah.
but you know, it's still a bit goofy.
So yeah, the argument for keeping him is basically, it's not based on slavery. It's
Or any
someone
sort of
who
discrimination
came
on
down
that.
the chimney and his face is therefore covered in like soot. But if you look at every single depiction of it,
Yeah, that's clearly a guy in blackface.
yeah, with the exaggerated lips, and
Yeah.
usually there's also gold earrings.
Like at a
Oh.
certain point, it has to be.
Oh, come on.
yeah, and
Like-
so people are like, it's not a racism thing. It's not a racism thing. And
Like if it was.
except
Ugh.
for I do believe it is, and I like if there's some picture like this.
Yeah,
one
I was
over
gonna say
here.
that one would
This
be
is what
fine.
we're slowly transitioning to, which is just some like black
Yeah.
smears of they
That's-
came down a chimney,
That's-
maybe.
very clearly, that's like you know what that is.
Yeah.
So I think that's the way to go, but people are upset by that. They're like, no, you're taking away the trend, like our our
rights.
holiday,
Our rights.
and it's for children. Children don't care. It's like no, like let's
It's
Have a t-
harmful.
yeah, and
It's
it's
like-
not giving us a great look internationally.
Like that's straight out of a
But yeah.
fucking minstrel show.
So from what I could find, truth is it is based in racism.
Oh, fucking course it
Absolutely.
is.
It has to be.
It's
Look at it.
from a book, and they're definitely depicted as slaves within the book.
Yeah, 1850 book by Amsterdam school teacher
Yeah, say it.
In which he, as
Jan Schenkman.
Schenkman.
I'm going with Schenkman.
in which he was depicted as a black Moor from Spain.
Yeah, like Sinterklaas, the Santa Claus, still comes from Spain. We say he lives in Spain, so again.
But he doesn't look.
No, he's fine. He's just the white man with the people of color helping him.
In a sort of servitude.
Yeah.
Oh God, that.
Oh yeah, revised edition Sooty Pete. That's
Better. So
Way
much
better.
better. Yeah.
not in Dutch. That's just a little bit longer.
The thing is, whenever a word describes one concept, we just stick all the words together.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's why it's a bit of a mess.
But
of
you
a word.
separated that.
Yeah, I don't know why we did, because I think it's a color.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that it has become more common than the traditional variant. That's good.
At public events, yes.
So that's
okay, public.
No, I'm asking you to pronounce it. Don't look at me like that.
Roetveegpiet.
Okay, and that's
Zwarte Piet.
so I was close. Okay.
Yeah. This is something that I always feel like I need to explain because people ask about it sometimes, and I'm like, no. Look, they're a large group of people I think are wrong. I'm not with that. Like,
Yeah.
I grew up with it, and I don't think it's normal. Looking back, you're a kid. You don't know. You don't realize.
Yeah.
I will admit, once in a blue moon, I've been reminded that this is a thing. I have once thought, should I? Nah,
I've genuinely never heard
No.
of this before.
And then I think to myself, I'm not gonna fucking ask her that.
It's
That's
fine.
no.
Yeah.
According to Helen Adeline Gerber and other historians, the origin of Santa Claus and his helpers have been linked by some to the wild hunt of Odin.
That's a but
Sure,
every
whatever.
other sort of link to that doesn't have this.
No, yeah, that's a weird justification. While riding the white horse Sleipnir, he flew through the air as the leader of the Wild Hunt. He has always been accompanied by 2 black ravens, Hugin and Munin. These helpers would listen, just like Svartipete, at the chimneys of the homes they visited to tell Odin about the good and bad. That is the worst fucking justification I have ever heard.
We don't have like Elf on the Shelf either. He sits across.
Oh,
he just
that's
knows.
new.
That's
That's
new.
new.
Yeah, okay,
I've never gotten.
That's
into
very
that.
much an American fucking thing that
Yeah.
invaded here.
But like the month of December, every weekend you get to put your shoe by the chimney, and Black Pete will put like a tiny little present in it. And
Sort of
leave
like
some candy.
stockings over
I
here, but
guess,
like
yeah.
not like that, obviously.
She's a little weirder.
yeah, and a little bit more oof.
Yeah. And another racist thing, the jokes about coronavirus, which is targeted towards mostly Asian people.
Yeah.
Which, again, recent thing, not just Dutch,
No,
but we were
absolutely
definitely
not.
participating. Not great.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, you have people that do that here as well.
Yeah.
That, so,
I think that's everywhere.
it's not a Dutch thing,
It's a bit oofy.
sadly.
But yeah, Netherlands, I still think it's a good country. I like it.
Well, I mean,
I grew up there. It's very safe.
yeah.
It has its problems. I would never
I'm having
go
my
my way
thoughts.
deny
I'm
it.
having my second thoughts.
Yeah, your country sucks.
Oh. I don't recommend it to people often when I'm like, oh, you can go there and you gotta. But there's been people like at my work who've asked, oh yeah, I've heard it's nice to work there. I'm like, yeah, I mean, you don't need to speak Dutch, so that's not a problem.
Yeah.
If you have the right expertise, you're totally fine. And
It's not somewhere that ever crossed my mind to like move to.
Yeah, I've never wanted to move
No.
there. I'll be honest.
No.
I'd like to visit maybe once.
Oh yeah.
there's an influx of Americans moving there. I don't
Hey,
like
you get
it.
that here as well. So
Yeah, that's true.
I'd like to go there, sample the delicacies.
Like what? Tell me. what do you
What did you mean by that?
Yeah.
Weed. It's the delicacy of the Netherlands.
Pair it with some nice like herring. Tons of
enough.
herring.
No, just weed.
Just
weed.
go on like a full weekend.
Yeah.
Yep.
Fuck it, I'll join you.
Sure. At some point, I'll bring Dutch snacks over for the podcast. I just
I don't think
Oh,
they're
I'm
gonna
gonna-
get through.
Oh yeah, thanks.
They're gonna get through customs.
Oh yeah,
I've done it before.
Wow.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna fucking love that.
I was planning on getting things that you would eat. Like we have a version of Jaffa cakes that's almost identical, like almost. So I wanted to get this, but it's a big package, so I couldn't do it. I tried.
Aww.
Another time.
Yeah, I don't think you're gonna get the snacks that I want to try through customs.
No, probably not. No.
Edibles.
Okay.
Edibles.
I mean, maybe in like gummy form. I could
God, that would be some podcast. That'd just be.
We'll make sure that one comes out on the 20th of April.
Yeah, I was about to say that's a special.
Weed every day.
No, it'll be a full episode. You're just like sort of hanging out like that. Meanwhile, I'm just like.
That's the episode we play Uno live.
Yeah.
Yeah. Netherlands, woo! Also, ooh.
Netherlands.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, for next episode, I'll talk some more about an iceberg just for the Netherlands. So stay tuned.
Oh, the other
For
ones,
that.
ones as well. Wow.
Yeah.
What can I say? Go Netherlands.
Netherlands.
Or, ooh, Netherlands.
Netherlands.
Woo!
Yeah. Thank you for listening to this episode of
What an
Napcast.
episode.
What a fucking episode.
Majora's Mask is
Who is
sacrilegious.
jangling keys?
Not me.
Oh, that's me. I didn't realize you could hear that.
I could hear that.
I could hear it so clearly. I'm like, who's walking a horse?
What the fuck's happening?
Ignore that. That was my hands just sort of finding something to fiddle with.
Nice, very nice.
Yeah. I didn't realize it was that loud.
Thank you for listening to this. If you're listening to this on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button to keep up with new episodes. Hit the bell icon and you'll be notified every time a new episode comes out. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button down in the description. There you'll find a link to the playlist with all the episodes if you just want to brain off and listen to all of this. If you don't want to listen to us on YouTube and you want to take us on the go, there's also a link where it'll lead you to everywhere that we have the podcast. Thank you.
Hit the bell.
Hit the little bell.
Goodbye.
Farewell.
Bye.